So burying the idea of a Palestinian state, that even the headline on the statement from Israel's far-right finance minister Bezalel Smotrich as he approved plans for a settlement that will split East Jerusalem from the occupied West Bank. A plan to build nearly 3,500 houses for Israeli settlers on land between an existing settlement in the West Bank and Jerusalem. The move revives the long-frozen E1 scheme, although it remains unclear at this stage if Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu backs the new plan, which many world leaders have long spoken strongly out against. Well, let's cross then to Jerusalem, talk to our correspondent Noga Tarnopolsky, who joins us from there. Noga, just tell us what this plan is, first of all, and why it's being resurrected at this stage.
The plan is an old plan, a kind of dream of the Israeli ultra-right wing to build permanent new Jewish settlements in an area that would permanently cut off the rest of the Palestinian West Bank from the city of Jerusalem, which is a city split between Israelis and Palestinians. And for anyone who hopes for the establishment of a Palestinian state, wants to see its capital in Jerusalem. This has proved a stickling point. Of course, in all negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians, it's the capital of Israel as of today, but it's a condition of the old Oslo peace process that eventually be a shared capital city. The reason for this today, I think there are multiple reasons. One of them is that the Prime Minister himself is so weak. He's now heading a minority government of just 49 members out of the 120 member Israeli parliament, the Knesset. Bezalel Smotrich, his finance minister, previously a kind of street hooligan who called himself a proud fascist. He's a segregationist, a guy really on the fringes of Israeli politics until Prime Minister Netanyahu brought him in to shore him, the Prime Minister, up. He's trying to goad the Prime Minister to see how far the Prime Minister will go to keep him on side. Basically, every week now we're seeing a new threat by Smotrich to topple the government, but then he doesn't follow through because he too is holding on to his seat of power.
So what could be the response then, both from Benjamin Netanyahu at this stage and also, of course, from the international community?
I expect that the international community will express outrage. It is an outrageous proposal, and I expect that the international community is going to use this to exert even more pressure on Israel before September. Why this September date that Smotrich mentioned? Because September will be the General Assembly of the United Nations, when a growing number of Western nations, all allies of Israel, have threatened in a punitive manner to recognize the state of Israel so as to put political pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu. The UK, Canada, France, at the head of this list of nations, they all hoped that by threatening Netanyahu with something that he has said would only happen over his dead body, never Palestinian state, instead of taking a positive act towards the establishment of a real state of Palestine, they're using this in an attempt or in the hope that Netanyahu will respond to pressure. However, because of counter-pressure by ministers and other legislators of the type of Smotrich, it's unlikely, in my view, that Netanyahu will respond anyway. I think he's going to just try and pretend that whatever was stated today didn't happen and try and kind of bulldoze through until September. In any event, none of what Smotrich is threatening can happen in the next 2 to 4 weeks. There are no preparations. This really is a sort of a sword fight right now. I'm not saying this to diminish the danger of it. Of course, if Finance Minister Smotrich remains in power and enacts this plan, it would be immediately very, very dangerous.
Noga, thanks very much, Noga Tarnopolsky.